going to go to our next speaker.
Hi. Hello. Can everybody hear me? Thank you. I want to say thank you to Sister Yeti, Miranda. Thank you, everyone, for joining, for taking the time as well to join. And I feel like this is a very good sport for everybody to learn and also to understand what it is with this period of us going through this pandemic and change right now. So I really want to say thank you for this opportunity of advancement. So today I'll actually be talking about career resiliency. Dr. Samuel actually touched base on some of the things that I would like to say, and I think it's very, very good. So I would like this to be more like an interactive section. Well, I'll introduce myself. So for those of you who didn't had chance to read the biography before joining. So my name is Ebosatale Ikhuoria. I'm a process engineer, but career stumbles up and down, but it's been really, really good, and I've been really grateful. I started my career back in Nigeria as an agriculturist and a biomedical scientist. So I did some farming for a while. I went to University of Ibadan. I studied agriculture, and then I went back to school again and studied biomedical sciences because that's what I have passion for. And then I later find myself in the United States studying biomedical engineering. So it's really been a very smooth path. That's what I would call it. It's been a graceful path for me. So let me jump right into what I'm going to be talking about today. So career resiliency, what is resiliency itself? Does anybody want to say that in the comment section? What do you think resiliency is? Anybody? All right. Strength, tenacity, a process of not giving up. Yes. All of that is actually what resiliency is. The capacity to recover quickly from difficulty and toughness. So I see really resiliency as being able to stretch, going beyond your own capacity, going beyond your own strength, and not just going beyond that strength of yours, but also improving that strength of yours, like going outside of what you would normally be comfortable with. And so I'll be focusing on strategies to cultivate and sustain career resiliency and adaptability. So in order for you to be able to cultivate a very good strategy in terms of career resiliency, you need to understand your own kind of person. You need to understand your own mindset. You need to understand how you think. I've come to understand that you cannot do anything if you keep holding yourself that you cannot. I've come to understand that you cannot move forward if you hold yourself that you cannot do anything. You like your own personal development, your own mindset. How do you think about yourself? Do you think you're able to stretch? Do you think you're really, really convenient in where you are? So that's what I think your own mindset should be. So now moving on to focusing on development. When you start thinking you want to move into a new phase of career, or you just want to develop, or you just want to grow with whatever you're doing. Now, the things you'll be thinking about is focusing on development. How can I grow? What can I do to develop? What should I do to actually develop this career phase of mine? What can I do to actually develop this strength? For me, when I was farming and I realized that, I wanted to go into the medical field, I realized that I didn't just want to impact people like by feeding them with food alone. I also wanted to touch lives in terms of vaccine making and actually talking to patients and drug development. So what I did was I started looking for schools. I started looking for opportunities, and I talked to people a lot. At that time, I didn't even know what LinkedIn was, but Google was my friend. Google was my friend to the extent that every little thing, every little word, every little opportunity I see, I go straight online to see what it is. And the thing about Google is it starts bringing up articles and people who are actually talking about that phase. So I take out those names, I Google them, I try to see what they've done, how they migrated. Did they actually started as biomedical engineer, or did they actually start as maybe on another phase. I started looking at all those things that I have, and then I jot down things that I know that would help me moving from a particular career to another career, or actually growing in a particular career can be very funny, but you have to just jot down what you need. What are those things you need? Do you need a degree to get to that new career phase? Do you need some skill sets to get to that particular career phase? Or do you need maybe recommendation? It could be as little as maybe somebody just actually recommending you for maybe a job or opportunity, or even a mentorship to a new career path. Now I started looking at all those things that I need, and I jotted them down from what I have and what I would actually be getting. And then I started getting real with myself. Now, how do I get real with myself? I started looking at my surrounding. Who can actually help me? Who are the people that can help me to achieve this goal? At this time, I was actually looking for people that could actually inspire and strengthen me, and not just people who could hail me, that could all say, oh, you're doing great in what you're doing. Oh, just keep going, keep going. I don't think you're perfect. But I needed people that would actually push me a little bit to tell me that, oh, okay, do this. I think if you put this into place, you'll be able to get to what you want, or where you are aspiring to be. So aside from career, because your career could be anything, your career could be as it could even be painting. It could be fashion designing. So you want to look into those people that could actually inspire you. Who are the best painter? What are the challenges they've actually gone through? Especially if you don't have them in your inner cycle, maybe what your passion is not in your inner cycle. So you start actually going online. I want you to always use online resources as much as you can. Go online, start looking at people who are actually in that particular field. What did they do differently? Now, you don't have to see them as, oh, okay, they've been doing this for so years. You know how you would talk to people, read their articles, read their resumes, read their papers, like you actually know these people personally. Although you don't have the opportunity to get their personal experience, but you can actually be able to look at somebody's resume or storyline or article, and you'll be able to understand where this person is coming from. So I started getting real with myself, and I think you should always get real with yourself as well. And then I started telling myself that growth is possible. If you don't tell yourself that growth is possible, or you read those articles, you get real, you looked at it and you just trace it away, or you just put it aside, you can never grow. You have to get out from your shadows and tell yourself that growth is very, very possible. There's some research paper I read a few years ago when I was writing some research, which is people who are actually neurosurgeons and actually neuroscience have actually seen that when you meet new person, which I think it can be relatable, when you meet somebody new, your brain start connecting. You start trying to figure out that person. Even if it's like sitting in a bus and you're just looking at somebody, your brain start connecting, trying to just figure out the person. Now, imagine you meeting somebody normally and you wanted to connect. Imagine you meeting like somebody via online, reading somebody articles. Your brain is actually connecting the dots, but you yourself, you now have to actually allow yourself to connect that dot. And it sees that person as a skill. Your brain sees it as a new skill set. Okay, who is this person? Your brain is not, it works like coding. So when you put in something into code, it start reading it, or it changed everything. So when you see somebody, when you realize that growth is possible, you look at a new skill set, or you meet somebody new, you start actually identifying, how can this person help me in my career growth? How can this person help me with migration? Do I really need this person? Okay, do I need this person to build a particular skill? Do I need this person to actually grow in terms of communication? Do I need this person to connect the dots for me? So you just have to realize that growth is possible. And then you set learning goals. Your learning goals, just like what Dr. Samuel has said, you can write it in your journal, you can put it in your board in your room, set it, write and be specific, challenging goals, not just goals of, oh, I want to be here in 4 years. Okay, I want to be this in 3 years. You set these goals. I want to be the best fashion designer in the world in 4 years. What do I do to get those 4 years done. You start putting all of those in retrospect. You start writing all those things down. Who do I need to talk to? When I was actually gonna become a process engineer, one of the tough things I did was I started searching, because my career path, like I said, when I got to America, I was literally confused. I know that we'll probably have some people right here who were actually confused. I was deciding, should I just follow the crowd and go and do nothing? Like, just quit school and go and do nothing and make the money, or should I just stay in this path that I've actually been chasing all the while? And so I start connecting the dots. I mean, I talked to few people here and there that actually nurses and biomedical engineering, but the me in me would not let me be. So what I mean by the me in me, the me looking at, okay, this is just too hard, I don't think I can do it. I mean, everybody's just coming to do nothing and they are making money, so I could just go. Well, to cut all this short, to be honest, I actually made that migration. I got into a school, I got to nursing, and I noticed this is not for me. And one thing I realized, that going back could be very, very difficult, and you don't want to be shy, or you're ashamed of, or what would people say, what things would do. But at this time, I realized that it is not for people. I am not doing these things for people. I am doing it for me. This is something that I feel confident that I would be able to impact lives. There are people who are talking to me at that moment. So what I did was I went back, and that's like taking a few steps backward. So I went back to where I was coming from and do the registration of the courses again, rewrite, okay, but I'm here now. Where do I want to end? Do I want to end in the biomedical industry? Do I want to end in the pharmaceutical industry? Do I want to end in the bio device industry, medical device? Do I just want to be someone who even do research? So I started thinking, and I started reading about most of those things. And to the glory of God, after reading and searching, making different searches, I said, okay, pharmaceutical it is. Okay, what do I do? I started taking courses while in school, because biomedical engineering is a very wide field. I'm sorry if you're not an engineer, but I'll try to relate this to other courses as we go along. So it's a very wild field. I started taking courses that could actually align me to where I am, to landing a job in the pharmaceutical industry. I started taking courses that could actually help me. I started doing volunteering in laboratories that could actually help. These were not paid. At this time, it was not all about the money. It was about where the end goal is. And Dr. Samuel actually also talked about that some your values will pave way for you. So I started putting all of those in retrospect, and I was able to get to where I am. So set those learning goals. Even if you think that you're old or you think it's too late, trust me, it is never too late. If you are 30 something, write your goals and start working on it. Put it down. You don't have to do things at the young age. Some of us just have to get it right late. It is okay. We don't all have to do things in our 20s. So you might be 30, set that goal and start connecting the dots. Who do I need to talk to? What are those specific challenges, goals that I need to get to where I want to? Start putting it down. I want to learn this. I want to learn that. I want to do this. I want to do that. And that would really help you. So another thing I did was I engaged in studying. I spent a lot of hours, a lot of time studying different kind of papers, studying different kind of researches, studying different kind of books, a lot of work actually. I went as far as even trying to go outside my own department to get a supervisor for my project, because in my project many people were more on medical device, but I had to go to biology department to get somebody, which means defining the normal rule of norm. So which means you can be anywhere, and if you see that particular things or the people surrounding you does not work for you, you don't have to stay there, and that doesn't mean that you won't get to your end goal. You could actually take 2 steps and stretch. That is the meaning of being resilient. You could stretch, start writing papers. Oh, I want you to supervise me in this. I want you to give me advice in my painting. I want you to be able to look at this design I draw in fashion. I want you to be able to look at what do you think about this educational skill set I am thinking about kids, and just stretch beyond your line. I mean, you might get rejections. People might come back and tell you, oh, this is not, it's not my field. Don't feel bad about it. continue your study, continue training, continue taking all those practice, and keep trying. I mean, by the time you reach out to maybe 10 people or 20 people, you would see one person who actually give you the ideas. The idea is not to even give up at all. The idea behind this is to get a good response, to meet somebody. So you don't have to care of how many people you meet while along the line. It is the end goal you should put your own eyes on. So another thing again is, I understand my race. Don't follow the crowd. Understand your race. It is very, very important for you to understand your own core values. You might have grown up, maybe you have like environmental factors that could have actually affect your growing, or positively or negatively. It is okay for you to define your own race at this moment. So there's something I wrote here. I wish I could actually share my screen. I said, comparing yourself with other people is very, very demoralizing. And it is very, very true. When you're comparing yourself with other people that you know that you're in the same sector, you're in the same, oh, this person, maybe if I am a doctor, I would actually make it. What about if your destiny and your values is actually the education you are, but because you've spent time running other people's race, you cannot see your own, and you cannot grow in your own. So another thing you want to do in being, I said, running your own race is very, very important. So instead of reflecting on other people, instead of trying to see, reflecting on other people's core value, meanwhile, those values are not yours. So you have to be able to run your own race. Whatever you're doing, instead look for people who are actually in the same lane phase with yours. Look for people who are actually racing the same thing as yours: engineering, fashion, scientists. Look for what they are doing differently. Are they working on molecule? Are they working on vaccines? Look on what your own, and don't just follow the trend that people are actually doing, because everybody have significant distinct skill that is your own, that you can actually bring to the world. We all need this. So, and this will help you to develop your own self and develop other people as well. So another thing I wanted to point out is, remember that errors are not, remember, hold on, my computer is just messing up. I don't know if you guys, all right. So remember that error can be learnable, that it's a learnable phase. So if you make mistakes, you make any errors along the line, it is okay. It is part of the phase. I have made a whole lot of errors. I can't even count. There's sometimes when I was making my career decision, and especially going from agriculture to biomedical engineering, when I started, I actually started asking myself, I think in my second year of study, that what am I doing here? I could have been making a lot of money farming in Nigeria, exporting maybe grains and rice and all of that. And it was so hard. When I mean it was so hard. So I started asking myself, what am I doing here? What can I do? What I think I took like a semester break just to have to think about myself, to think if I really want to be here. I mean, my peers and other people went forward with the next semester, and that looks like if you like repeating a class. So like not graduating with yourself, and that could be really, really somehow. But I could tell you that one semester that I took off school helped me to re-strategize, helped me to see things differently, helped me to understand the reason why I even made the move the first time, helped me to make all different phases, and I saw all of those as natural learning phases. So you want to be able to count your errors as a learning phase. Anything you do differently, any errors you've made, see it as a path to learn. What you have to do is learn from it and move forward. If you've made mistake in any part of your phase, in your growth, in your career path, in some of your skill set, maybe decisions you even made before, see it as a career path, part of learning. Just pick up the things you've learned from those errors and move up. So another thing, focus on what you can change. What can you change? What can you change from those errors? You already understand it, that okay, I made this mistake, or you don't even have to go back. Some of you don't even have to go back. Some of you notice that, or some of us just notice that, okay, this is not my path. I have to go back. It is okay. Take that step, go back, re-strategize. And if you have to go back to whatever you're doing before, let's say you move from agriculture to biomedical engineering like myself, and I have to go back to agriculture, it is okay for me to do that. I just have to pick up 2 lessons I learned from biomedical engineering. Does that mean that I would take maybe vaccines and use it for birds? It is okay. I pick up those setbacks. What can I change? What did I do wrong in the first place that made me wanted to leave agriculture? And why am I coming back? You have to be able to connect the dots and re-strategize. Use every opportunity to re-strategize. Open your mind to strategies. Talk to people as much as you can, and understand that rather than as indicating a lack of using that as a face of, oh, I am no more good. See it as a place of natural talent. You can move anytime and come back anytime, and you can still get your right. Sorry for using that word, but yeah, you can always get your things right. So another thing, explore all your setbacks. Part of strategies to be able to align to adaptation. Adapting is stretching. When you fall, you're rising. So explore all your setbacks. Start asking yourself, what factors as this cause? What are the results I have gotten from this? What are the different approaches that would help me get to a better result? Okay, what am I doing wrongly? What are the new approach that I can do? Okay, I set up a business. Let's say I actually had a big farm, and at some point I lost about 1,000 bed. What did I do wrong? What are the things I missed? Was it the water? What are the lines? So you have to start writing those things down. What are the phases you missed it? You know this is your calling, your body. You've been failing. Pick a book, write it down. How did I fail? What did I do wrong? Different approaches that you've done wrong. Okay, once you find that, then you start making another different approach that could actually help you result to a better course from what you have done before. So it's realigning and re-strategizing. Then you think, okay, I want to go back into it. Those strategies, how can I apply them next time that I don't have to repeat what I have done before? When I was actually changing my job, when I wanted to change my job from being a contract to a full-time, I started asking myself, I had full-time opportunities, but I didn't even take it. I don't know if I would call that stupidity at that time, but I didn't take it. But now I wanted a full-time because I know that full-time comes with a lot of benefit. But then I was very naive. I wasn't looking at the benefit. I just wanted the job. Now I realized that full-time comes with a lot of full benefits. So I started strategizing. How can I set up my resume to get to a very good company that the benefits will be able to take me for a very long time? I started strategizing. I started putting up points. I talked to a few people that I know that they are in the industry, they are in the field here and there. How can we do this? How can we make sure that these things are really good? How can you look at my resume and put it? So one thing I did is I looked at people who are actually in my industry. What are they doing differently? The jobs I want to apply for. Oh, do I have this skill? Am I not even writing it right? And it could be as small as English, not putting the right words in your own paper, in your own resume, not putting the right measurements in maybe a little cup of vaccine for birds in terms of farming, maybe just missing little dots. So I started putting all those things together, and I was able to set up a very good resume. Voila, I was able to get a very good job that I am currently. So it just exploring your setback, what you've done wrongly, and connecting the dots. So another thing is reflecting on potential costs. You want to strategize. Why are you even going into it? Is it because of money? Most of the things we do, there is passion. There is passion, but you also want to make profit from it. Most of the jobs you're doing, most of the things you're doing, there is purpose attached to it. You've been able to align purpose to it, but you also want to be able to get money out of it. You want to be able to feed your family from whatever you're doing, whatever career aspiration. So you have to start thinking deeply. think deeply. I say, think deeply about a specific time when a fixed mind constrained you or someone you care about from realizing the value of aspiration. So you have to start looking at, okay, the cost. What do I do differently? How can I make profit out of this? How can I make sure that I am adopting growth out of this orientation? How can I make sure that and potential costs can come in different form. It can be money, it can be skill set, it can be as small as connection. Did I just call connection small? No, connection is very big. It can be as big as connecting people, getting connection. So you want to be able to think of those connections. You want to be able to think of, how can I make impact from those, from whatever I am doing? How can I make sure that I am getting the pay that I am worth at right now? But how can you get the pay you're worth if you're not giving the value that the cost you want to get? So if you're missed, you have to go back again and get all those information that you have to always connect the dots, reflect on it, reflect on all the setbacks you have had. How can you improve yourself? How can you make sure that all the times you have fallen, you've been able to pick up yourself back, so that when you decide to go back into that phase, that skill set, that job phase, you're able to get something valuable out of it, and you're not repeating the same mistakes. So some of the attributes I've actually come up with in this career resiliency is continuous learning. You just have to keep learning. Keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. Learn as much as you can. How can you learn? Talk to people, be flexible, open your mind. Don't be constrained with our Nigerian mindset. When I came to America, I realized that everything, every values, everything I actually thought I knew was not what it is in the world. As you move in life, you start realizing new dimensions of things. So don't be constrained. Don't say, this is who I am, or this is how I grew up. This is what it is. No, be open. Open your mind that you want to be able to learn as much as you can, and have a flexible attitude. Be positive. Don't just meet people or open up a book and you're already like, this book, I cannot read it. I cannot read it. Please, the words inside self. How will I be reading? And I'm putting up a dictionary beside me. You have to open your mind to learn new things. If you're in things that maybe you're not reading too much, you have to start opening your mind to, when you see things maybe like painting. Like I always reflect to painting a whole lot, because I feel like painting has a lot of colors, and if you're not into painting, when you see it, you might not even be able to understand it. You just be looking at, why would this paint cost so much? So when you see a painting, you want to be able to look at it and ask yourself, why does it cost so much? What are the dots? What is this picture trying to tell me? I've been able to see things like that. Human being, profile, what is the things? What is the good things in this resume? Why am I reading this research paper? What are the things I need to get from it? So open your mind to flexible attitude, open your mind, and effective communication. You can be communicating and it's not effective. You have to learn how to be effective in your communication. Passive communication. How can I talk to this person and this person will understand? How can I sell my product to this person? How can this person even know that I'm selling my products? So you have to be able to learn that. One way of you to even learn effective communication is learn it online. Talk to people. Use your friends. I use my friends a whole lot. I use my inner cycle, and sometimes I get very, very good feedback, or sometimes bad, which is okay. So, and when I get those bad feedback, I go back and re-strategize. So effective communication, learn how to communicate. Most times communication really help you in everything you do. So whatever you do, try to make sure that you are communicating very, very well, and be a team player. You can be a single player, because you would interact with people in one way or the other, either customers, workers, you would interact with people. So try to be a very good team player. Don't just stay in, it is my own, because I know everything, because I have a master's degree. So, and you that have BSc, you cannot tell me otherwise. Snap out of those archaic mentality. and come out to this mentality where you can learn from even the younger one and become a good team player with them. You see, coming to America, I've actually opened my mind to a lot of things. I would see somebody 60 and I'm like, hey, hi, did you have coffee? I can't do that back home. They'll look at me like, are you okay? But I've been able to learn a whole lot, and it has actually helped me in terms of adaptability. I've been able to adapt easily. How can you adapt when you find yourself in a new field? How can you actually adapt? You think outside the box. Think what are the challenges I have been facing? What are the things I have been doing wrongly? Start thinking of how you can stretch. And if you struggle with adaptation, it is okay. With time, you would be able to find yourself coming back to it. I struggled with adaptation with my new job. I was going from literally normal scientist to like schooling schools like an engineer, and it was big for me. But after a while, talking to people, trying to see, I started adapting. I started understanding the core values. So I started understanding the core values, and then I was able to adapt into to whatever my company values were. So commit to successful organization. Make sure that people around you are not devaluing you all the time. Try to make sure that people, if people devalue you a lot, you will not be able to race. So you want to be able to know when you're running, so people are not dragging you down. Why are you doing that? I don't think that makes sense. Try to be among successful organization. Be committed to it. Sometimes it takes time, but try, and then take responsibility of your own career management. Don't let people, like I say, run your own race. Your own race is your own. Everybody has their own race. So run your own race. Yes, we're finally at the last slide. Okay. The take home from this is the moment you start believing that you can bounce back from every setback. You can bounce back to whatever values or whatever career goals you've had when you were as small as 10. You would be able to become more resilient and face it. So yes, bounce back. Yeah, this is my last slide. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. That was amazing. One of my own pickup. Okay, in the comments section, I want us to write one thing you picked.
You said diligence may be defined as doing the same thing consistently until a goal or success is achieved. What's one thing will you say has helped you even till now to achieve success? I would say that aside from diligence, I would actually say that resiliency. My story is, like I said, beginning before I started talking, is resiliency. My story has not have a good path, but I've been able to communicate. At some point in my career phase, I actually picked someone much younger, someone as young as 23 as a mentor. And that kind of blew my mind away, because the things I learned from that person had actually still helped me. Those values I learned still help me till now. And I think even when I get to 50, I would still be able to apply those core values. So I feel like opening my mind to a lot of opportunities, opening my mind to more than what I believe, and then staying consistent with it has actually helped me.
Wow.
Resiliency is stretching, but how do you draw the balance between pushing maximum capacity and going beyond the limit? Is there a limit? Do you really have a limit? I don't think in this thing called goal, you should have a limit, because at the time you get to a particular phase you call limit, you discover something new.
That's true.
And then you want to move forward. So you keep stretching and keep stretching and keep stretching. And then there are different mysteries to different phases. So there is no limit, actually, except you just want to quit whatever phase or whatever career or whatever particular thing that you're facing at that time. Because for every single path that you thought you're stopping here, there is a new discovery to move forward. Or backward, but most time we always want to move forward.
Right.
And if you have to move backward, pick up the lessons, go back and re-strategize.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, last question for the day. Says, how do you deal with disappointment or setbacks? Because everything you said now is, I can feel the heartbeat of so many people. You're like, it's because you're in America. It's because you're in
It's
America.
not so.
Because for me, when I did my project, I worked on um why did it fly in my head now? Storage tanks or petroleum depots. And I remember my lecturer, one of the lecturers was like, why do you take that topic? Do you think you're going to get oil company job? And I was like, when you meet like your lecturer saying stuff like that, how do you deal with, that kind of mindset? Because I know the Nigerian system is in fact is a far cry from the American system. So, I understand what the person is saying, and I really want you to explain, how do you deal with disappointment or setback that comes as a result of the system?
So I've actually had a lot of disappointment, either in my career path or when I was actually in the school. One thing I do is when I'm disappointed, when I actually get disappointed, and it's somebody I cannot approach. But if it's somebody that I can really approach, I go back to do my findings. Always come with facts. If you have to, if you strongly believe in what you're doing, have facts. Get your facts right. Go online, get people's success story, get people who are involved in it, and gather as much facts as you can, and then go back to that professor and put it there. In 1919, whatever, this happened, and I think if we tweak it, this will be able open their mind. At this phase, you're actually teaching that person. The reason why you're getting a no is because the person probably doesn't even understand what you're saying. The person is not willing to open mind. There are people who are actually rigid. They are not ready to open mind. But when you give them facts and reasons, they'll start second guessing. Okay, all right, okay, let's I would give this a second thought. And then you start finding them that they will start thinking from their own experience, telling you, oh, I think, okay, maybe if we do it this way, it will be better. So get facts. And if you get disappointed, go back, re-strategize and reshoot. You might not shoot the same hole, the same target, but in fact, if I get disappointed, I always go back to shoot higher targets. It just because this time I have learned why that particular person did not allow me. So it has given me opportunity to see that I can go higher than what I was thinking after going for my research. So always go back and do more findings and shoot again.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Another thing I want to touch base. I just said it right now, that your mentality. While I was in Nigeria farming, I think, I was making good money. I know that I wanted to do biomedical engineering. That was why I made the move. I wanted to be in the medical field, but Nigeria admission made me landed agriculture. So you have to understand that your mindset, even if you are in as small as, I don't know, whatever village that there is no electricity. If you desire to do, if you desire to do good and you desire to make it, you would find your way and break forth from whatever is holding you back, and you keep striving for goals. Yeah. Thank
you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. Like, exactly. The mindset is 100%. Yeah. And thank you for your time. Thank you for accepting us on such short notice.
Thank you.
Thank you.